Okay, so first of all, we'll see about the parts of speech tagging, a bit of parts of speech tagging. Then we'll enter into how this, uh, like, how can we do parts of speech using hidden Markov model. Uh, so as such, like we were seeing about this bigrams, trigrams, quadgrams, pentagrams, or as such. Like that, for that language modeling also, we have seen about Markov chains, right? So that Markov chains, a little bit of advanced like hidden Markov models, we can deploy there also for the language modeling also we can deploy it. We'll see first about some basics of these parts of speech. Then we'll enter into the Markov chains. Okay. So this parts of speech tagging, as you know earlier also we have discussed, is a well-known task in natural language processing, and it refers to the process of classifying words into their parts of speech, or like word classes. We call them as sometimes known as words classes or lexical categories. And this is basically a supervised learning approach. Okay, and parts of speech or word classes or synthetic categories are useful because of the large amount of information they give about a word and its neighbors. So you understand very well that, like, suppose I speak a sentence and I pick up a sentence in that particular, I pick up a word in that particular sentence, we can extract meaning about its nearby ones, right? What parts of speech it is, and like what is its or like what should be the, how should be the words, like that. Okay, whether it should be a singular one, whether it should be a plural one, or as such, like a variety of information can be extracted. So that is it saying that knowing whether a word is a noun or a verb tells us a lot about likely neighboring words. Like nouns are preceded by determiners and adjectives, verbs by nouns. Like this type of at least some basic information can be known, right? And about the syntactic structure around the word, which makes parts of speech tagging an important component in the syntactic parsing. So parts of speech are useful features for finding named entities like people or organizations in text and other information extraction tasks. So please remember that this is just only a something overview that I am giving about parts of speech tagging. Some more things, parts of speech, some more information just I wanted to put it up. Like parts of speech can be divided into two broad super categories. One is the closed class, another is the open class. Okay, this closed class are those with relatively fixed memberships, such as prepositions. So you understand that new prepositions are rarely coined, right? There are some words which can be coined, like some categories which can be coined, but new prepositions are very rarely coined, right? They are invented or discovered, like that, right? So by contrast, nouns and verbs are open class because new nouns and verbs can be given, right? Like for example, iPhone or two facts, right? iPhone was not there before, right? So iPhone, you have given a name, right? Or two facts means to send something, like that, right? So it is a verb. So these are basically continually they are created or borrowed from other languages, or maybe like from some other words. Okay, it is being done like that. So that's why they are called open categories. So any given speaker or corpus may have different open class words, but all speakers of the language and sufficiently large corpora likely share the set of closed class words. So closed class words are generally function words, like of, eat, and, or, you, like this, which tend to be very short and which occurs frequently and often have structuring use in the grammar. They are basically used for structuring, right? And four major open classes that occur in the language of the world are like for the nouns, verbs, adjectives, and adverbs. These are mostly like the open class categories. Okay, open this other parts of speech are basically closed, but mostly four major open classes are like nouns, verbs, adjectives, and adverbs. Now, for nouns, let us see about these open classes. Like noun, the syntactic class noun include the words for most people, places, or thing, but others as well. Okay, open class nouns fall into two categories. One is the proper noun, like Regina, Colorado, IBM, are names of specific persons or entities. See, all these are easily understandable things. Just that's why I'm just reading out, and like it can be discussed, no issue. But maybe like these are already known. That's why just I'm giving through a readout to you all. I hope you are into noun slide, right? Is there any lag in my slides?
So part of speech slide is
Noun,
slide 4.
No, sir, it is on parts of speech.
Slide 4, sir.
oh, I'm into slide 5 right now. Yes, did you get it now?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Mm. Do you see now?
Still on fourth slide, sir.
Okay, this basic like parts of speech and all, just let me go through. Then when I come to problems or Markov chains, let me again wait there for some time and then start explaining. Okay, fine. Okay,
Okay,
so
sir.
I am speaking about nouns. Okay, so this nouns, like open class nouns, fall into two classes: proper nouns, like some names. Okay, names of specific persons or some entities. And in English basically they are not preceded by articles. uh, like and they are not preceded by articles. Okay, example, the book is upstairs. uh, like but Regina is upstairs, like that. Okay, or like the other classes, like common nouns are divided into many languages, including English, into count nouns and mass nouns, right? Like this there are different variations of nouns. Just I wanted to just uh, bring to your information, right? Like a proper noun is there, count nouns is there, mass noun is there. So so count nouns allow grammatical enumerations occurring in both the singular and plural, like goat, goats, relationship, relationships. And they can be counted also, like one goat, two goat, 10 goat, like this, right? Mass nouns are used when counting is conceptualized as a homogeneous group. So words like snow, salt, and communism are not counted, right? They are not counted. They are taken. The whole things are taken as a mass, right? In a single group. That is what is this? Like mass nouns. Okay. Now verbs. The verb class includes more of words referring to actions and processes, including main verb like draw, give, provide, go, like this. English verbs also have got inflections, like saying something like non third person singular, or third person singular, or progressive, or past participle, like this, right? Various derivations also, inflections it has got, verbs basically. So while many researchers believe that all human languages have the categories of noun and verb, others have also argued that some languages such as Indonesian and Tango don't even make this distinction. See, that is true to some extent. Uh, if you see, like in some languages, even in Indian languages, few as I know, because from my part of the country where I come from, there are some languages which do not have the script. They basically do not have like a difference between some languages. Okay, they don't have a difference between a verb and a noun. So they have a single category. Okay, that is as such because they do not have a script, so everything is considered as a single category only. Adjectives, if you take adjectives, the third open class English form is adjectives, and a class that includes many terms for many terms for properties or some qualities. Most languages have adjectives for the concept of color, like for white or black or pink or orange, something like that, and even for the age, like old or young, like that, and for value also, like good or bad, like that. But there are many languages also without adjectives. So in Korean, for example, the words corresponding to English adjectives act as subclass of verbs. See, it depends upon what is the grammatical structure of a language. So in Korean language, there is no adjective. Adjective is a subclass of verb. So what is in English as an adjective, for example, like beautiful, like if you tell beautiful is a adjective in English, right? So the same word, suppose a word called beautiful is there available in Korean, then it will mean like it is a verb, means to be beautiful. Okay, it means to a verb like to be beautiful, like that. So that's why even in some languages, maybe like what seems like a one parts of speech in a language, it may be different in some other parts of speech. Some other languages parts of speech. Okay. If you take a adverb, so what coherence the class has semantically may be solely that each of these words can be viewed as modifying something, right? Often the verbs are modified. So adverb modifies a verb, right? So adding something to the verb, but also other adverbs uh, for the entire verb phrase, like directional adverbs or locative adverbs. Directional adverbs home, here, downhill specify the direction or location of some action, and degree adverbs like extremely, very, somewhat specify the extent of some action, process or property. Manner adverbs are there like slowly, slinkily, delicately describe the manner of action, some action or some process. And we are also having some temporal adverbs which relates to some time action, like yesterday, today, Monday, day before yesterday, okay, or some days of the week, Sunday, like that. Because of the heterogeneous nature of this class, this temporal class, some adverbs, maybe like some temporal adverbs like Monday, are tagged into some tagging schemes as nouns also. Okay. Now, so we are having noun, verb, adjective, and adverb as the major open class categories. So if you take a closed classes, they differ more from language to language than like the open classes. Some of the important closed classes in English can be said as like prepositions. Okay, prepositions like on, under, over, near, by, at, from, to, with, like this. There are prepositions, there are determiners, a and the, some pronouns pronouns like she, who, I, others, like this. Some conjunctions and, but, or, as, if, when, like these some conjunctions. Some auxiliary verbs also can be there, which do not, which falls under the closed category, like can, may, should, are, is, like this. Some particles are there like up, down, on, off, in, at, by, like this. Some numerals like 1, 2, 3, first, second, third, like this. Okay. And these prepositions occur before noun phrase. Semantically, they often like semantically they often indicate spatial or temporal relationship, whether literal like on it, before then, by the house, or metamorphical like on time, with gusto, beside herself, like this. Okay. But often indicate other relations as well, like marking the agent in, for example, like uh, data mining was written by, or like natural language processing, like speech and natural language processing was written by Juratsky and Martin, right? Written by, that is like marking the agent here, right? Preposition by is a preposition here. Okay. Now, similarly, a particle resembles a preposition or an adverb and is used in combination with a verb. Particles often have extended meaning that aren't quite the same as the prepositions they resemble. And in the particle uh, over in she, like for example, if there is a sentence, she turned the paper over. So you can see that this particle over is having some extended meaning and aren't quite, they are not quite same as the prepositions that they resemble. Then we are having like when a verb and a particle behave as a single syntactic or semantic unit, we call the combination as phrasal verb. So phrasal verbs can widespread problems with natural language processing because they often behave as a semantic unit with a non-compositional meaning, like one that is not predictable from the distinct meaning of the verb and the particle. So maybe like if there is a there may be some words like turn down means something like reject, right? Rule out means something like you eliminate it. Find out is like discover, and go on, it means that like continue, like this phrasal verbs. Okay. uh, Verb and particle combined together. Okay, phrasal verb. Then a closed class, and for your information please, I will be giving you these slides. All these slides are made by me, so I will give you these slides. Okay. uh, a closed class that occurs when nouns uh, often marking the beginning of a noun phrase is called the determiner. Okay. So one small subtype of the determiner is an article. So English has basically three articles, right? A, an, and the. Other determiners can also include like this, that. A and an mark a noun phrase as indefinite, while the can mark it as definite. So definiteness is a discourse property in the continuity of the sentences. Articles are quite frequent in English. Indeed, the is the most frequently occurring word in most corpus of the English, and a and an are generally behind the word the. Okay, the article the. So we are having conjunctions also. So conjunctions, all this I am speaking about the closed categories and the open categories. Open categories we have seen earlier, right? The nouns, the verbs, adjectives, and adverbs. And remaining all things, okay, all the parts of speeches, they are closed, and to a greater extent, okay, they are closed and we are seeing about them. And like the conjunctions join two phrases, clauses or sentences. Coordinating conjunctions like and, or, but join two elements of equal status, right? Subordinating conjunctions are used when one of the elements have some embedded status. For example, that in, okay. Now I say, like, for example, I give a sentence to you. I thought that you might like some milk. Here, that, okay. I thought that you might like some milk. So here the word that is a subordinating conjunction that links the main clause I thought with the subordinating clause you might like some milk. So this clause is called subordinating clause because their entire clause is the content of the main verb thought, right? And subordinating conjunctions like that, which link a verb to its argument, uh, is also called complementizers. Complementizers, okay. So here that may be like it is linking to the main verb thought, okay. That's why it can be also given as complementizers. Now pronouns also a part of this closed, okay, classes. Pronouns are forms that often act as a kind of shorthand for referring to some noun phrase or entity or some event, right? Personal pronouns refer to persons or entities like you, she, I, it, me, like this. Possessive pronouns also are there like my, yours, his, hers. These personal pronouns are the forms of personal pronouns that indicate either actual possession or must often just as an abstract relation between the person and some object. Uh, sometimes there are like WH pronouns. Like WH pronouns means which starts with words that starts with WH, right? What, who, whom, whatever it is, whoever it is, whomsoever, whoever, like that, okay, are used in certain question forms or may also act as complementizers. Like Ram, who was the husband of Sita, who here you are giving, right? Who, see, this is the complementizer here. WH forms, pronouns, okay. So like a closed class subtype of English verbs, verbs are the auxiliary verbs. That auxiliary verbs, as we said earlier, that like they are like a closed verbs or closed classes, and cross linguistically auxiliaries mark certain semantic features of the main verb, including whether an action takes place in the present or past or future with respect to some tense, and whether it is completed, whether it is neglected or negated, and whether an action is necessary, possible, suggested, or desired. So it depends upon again mood. So it depends completely, which may include a tense or an aspect or a polarity or a mood. So English auxiliaries include the copula verb, be, the two verbs do and have along with their inflected forms, as well as a class of modal verbs. So be is basically called a copula because it connects subjects with certain kinds of predicate nominals and adjectives. He is duck. I have given the examples also here. Okay, he is duck. Is a copula verb here. Now the verb have is used, for example, to mark the perfect tense. Okay, I had gone, I have gone. And be is used as part of the passive, like we were, he was, like that. We were living, or like progressive. These are progressive verbs, like we are living. Okay, like the models are used to mark the mood associated with the event or action depicted by the main verb. Like can can the word can be used to indicate the ability or possibility, and may this word indicates permission or possibility. Must indicates the necessity. And in addition to the perfect have mentioned above, like there is a modal verb have, like I have to go, right? The word we can use it, this type of words also we can use it, like called as a model. We have the modal verb have. Okay, I hope you all know all these parts of speech, right? These parts of speech are very much common to you, and you can just know that just this is just a brush up of all the non things that you have studied earlier. Just this is a reminder for you, right? We will see like how they can be used in how knowing the property, knowing like how the parts of speech, what is the exact parts of speech it is. It also reflects, or it suggests what will be the next parts of speech. Okay, what is the tag that can be given for the next parts of speech? So in a sequence of words, okay, I suppose I start a sentence telling I, what would be the next word? Maybe like have, I have, I will, I can, I am. So these type of words, look, you can just understand that like these words can be occurred, right? So it means that either I told, I'm starting the sentence like I have spoken already I. So what will be the next word? Okay, or what is the next parts of speech? I. Then there can be a verb, right? I can. Whatever may be the parts of speech it is. Or whatever may be the form of the verb it is. But I can. I am. Okay. I have. I will. So these type of things. It can be a verb. It can be a something like adverb or like this. So because of the word, so existence, finding out about the current word status gives us, and its corresponding parts of speech help us in finding out what would be the next possible words or next possible parts of speech, so I can easily assign them, and this helps us in modeling of the language. So the basically for all the parts of speech tagging, or as such, we use the Penn Treebank parts of speech tag set, right? This is what we use it. Earlier I have said it. This Penn Treebank parts of speech tag set is 45 tags are there for that, and similar tag set are also available with respect to the Brown corpus, the Brown University, or Brown corpus. We call that one POS tag. This is Penn Treebank or Brown corpus tag, or maybe like we can say that like the Wall Street journal corpus tags, switchboard corpus, like these are some standard benchmark tags, this corpuses and the corresponding tag sets. Now, which slide I am into?
16,
Slide
sir.
number 16.
16.
Sir.
16.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mm, okay, I will do one thing. I'll just uh, stop sharing this one, again start share with the Markov chains. Okay.
Okay, sir.